Hey guys, so many of you asked me to do a video on function calling, and here I am today talking about function calling in this video. So let's get started. So we all know that function calling is becoming essential for AI applications for all the good reasons. Okay, so it can significantly enhance how you interact with and develop AI applications. So basically, in July 2023, OpenAI was the first company to introduce this function calling feature for their GPT models. And now it's being adopted by the competitors like Google, Anthropic, etc. And so, what exactly is function calling, right? So, function calling, also known as tools use or tool use, is the ability to reliably connect LLMs with external tools to enable effective tool usage and interact with external APIs, right? So, function calling basically enables developers to describe and call functions to complete the tasks in the LLM powered applications. So we all know that the companies are now more interested in building their own autonomous AI agents where LLMs become the central part. And these AI agents have the capability to basically subdivide a big task into small parts, right? And so that they can handle these tasks very easily to complete the main task. And this is where they have the ability to call any tool whenever it is required to complete that task. And this is where function calling becomes very helpful, super helpful. So let's see a simple workflow of the function calling in the next part of this video. Hey guys, so here is a simple function calling workflow. So we all know that the function calling is used in uh, AI agents and LLM powered applications, where LLM is the heart and soul of uh, the whole system. And the for any user input, it can be any big task. The task will be subdivided to handle smoothly. Okay, and then the next thing is to decide whether the function calling is needed or not. So if function calling is not needed, if the task or the user input is very easy to handle, then there will be no any requirement of function calling. The LLM can easily generate the response back to the user. Whereas if the task is really huge and it's little complex and lot of tools are required, then the function calling is required, and then it identifies the required functions. It calls the external functions and the APIs and the tools, and then it receives the function output, and then it basically incorporates the output into response, and that's how the response generation basically happens whenever there is function calling is needed. So this is a simple workflow, and we're going to see this practically in our tutorial. Hey guys, so here is a simple function calling tutorial. This is my complete notebook code. I'm using single store's notebook feature. You can also use single store's notebook feature. Go to singlestore.com, sign up. Single store has a free share tier, and you can use it for free. So once you sign up, go to Data Studio and create your new notebook, and you will land here. And I'm going to share the notebook code in the description of the video so that you can go through and try to understand how basically function calling works. So let's get started with our function calling tutorial. So what we are doing here, uh, we are basically defining the tools to be used in our whole setup. We are using weather data API. We are calling the weather data API from Open Weather Map, and search internet from DuckDuckGo. And so we have two tools, two APIs we are basically using in our setup. And next, we're going to implement the search internet and get weather info functions. And we're going to initialize the OpenAI client and define the main conversation function, run conversation, and then we basically run the conversation with our tools and see how the function calling basically works. So first things first, let's import the required libraries. We're going to import the OpenAI, the DuckDuckGo search, and then we'll define the tools, the APIs. Like I said, the first tool is get weather information, and the second one is the search internet. After that, we're going to implement the functions, define the search internet and the get weather functions. Um, so that's what we are doing here. And after that, we're going to initialize the OpenAI client. And uh, that's what we are doing. You need to add your OpenAI API key here. And let's define the main conversation flow, main conversation function. Integrate the new functions into your conversation workflow. So we are basically integrating both the get weather info and the search internet the for the function calling. And once you do that, let's run the conversation, right, and see how both the APIs can work together to complete our task. So our prompt is, hey, what is the weather like in Delhi? How about and how about Hong Kong? Also, what's the current news in India? So if you see the that's our prompt, and you see the it runs and it calls the tools. The first one is like function calling, and the function response is like what is the weather like in Delhi, right? The temperature is 32.05, descriptions haze, let humidity 70, wind speed is 1.03. And then the next one again, it calls the function because we're asking about one more city here, one more thing, location, right? Hong Kong. So it says like the response, function response is like temperature 28, description is moderate rain, humidity 87, and wind speed is 0.45. And then it calls the next function about search internet because our next thing is about what's the current news in India, right? There are three different things we are doing. We are basically asking weather in Delhi, and then the Hong Kong, and we are asking the current news in India. So it basically calls all these three functions, and the third one is about the search thing, right? So search the internet. So that's what it's doing now. And as you can see, the final formatted LLM response, right? The weather in Delhi is like temperature, description, humidity, wind speed, and then weather in Hong Kong is this, and then the current news in India. So it gives us a bunch of suggestions and the portals. Okay, so that's how you can basically combine everything. And uh, for any complex user prompt, you can use this function calling, combine these APIs, and try to solve the user query and come up with a proper response. So yeah, here in this particular thing, you need to use the uh, you know API key. This is the API key the um, from this openweathermap.org. So once you go here, API keys, this is where you're gonna get your API keys. So you need to use it while defining your get weather info thing. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna change this so that you can't use. So yeah, hope you understood how basically the function calling works, and I'm going to share the code in the description so that you can go and try this out and basically see how the function calling works. Thanks.